Hello and welcome back to Stranded Deep. My name is Agurk. Today I'm going to be doing a glitchless speed run with a set seed. Yeah, so all of you purists out there who want to see a glitchless speed run, this is going to be it. I'm using the same seed that I've been using on my other speed runs. Normally I would go on this route that I'm indicating here, kill the boss. In my last speed run I went to that island and then took out the final two bosses and escaped. It'll depend on how things go. The pace here is obviously a lot slower. I do not have the speed glitch, so I have to sail, so I don't know which of these islands I'm going to go to. I might just go straight to that big island. I might go to the small island. I'm not sure. I'll have to see what the timing is like when I play it. Now, this will be unoptimized. I won't have tested how far I can get on day one and stuff. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a crapshoot as to which islands I'm going to. We'll take it as it comes. I'm putting permadeath on just for fun, because generally in a speed run, if you die, it should be over anyway, so permadeath is on. Yeah, this is something that a few people have requested. There's also people who complain about the speed glitch speed runs, that they're not legit because I'm using a speed glitch. You know, people have their own opinions on that and stuff, and there are different categories of speed runs for that very reason, and I've chosen to do the glitch ones mostly because I find them most interesting. This one, on the other hand, I'm recording this and commenting afterwards. So this was painful to do. Like, playing this at the normal speed after you've been playing speed glitch runs for months is so painfully slow. It's absolutely painful. And I actually started this out in third-person view, which I didn't mean to, so I'm going to just change that over to first person. I'm not restarting though, I don't care. So in the beginning here, I'm basically going to be doing exactly what I did in my glitch speedrun, just a lot slower. So I'm going straight over for this crate to get the first loot. And basically what I'll be doing on this island is looting it as much as I can. I'll be hitting all the wrecks, getting what I can out of the crates. I'm going to gather any planks that are lying on the beach, any rocks, sticks, harvest all the fibrous leaves, gather the potatoes. And again, because I have run this seed many times, I know where everything is, so I don't have to look for it. I know where it is. That's kind of the beauty of a set seed. You can optimize things as much as you possibly can. And again, for purists, no, this is not what you want to see. A pure speed run to some people would be a random seed where you have no prior knowledge of the world layouts, of where anything is on each island, etc., etc. And that's fine. That's another category, which I'm not to the point where I want to do one of those yet, simply because of the time that it would take. With the new big world that came out in Stranded Deep a few versions ago, there are 46 islands, 3 boss fights, and then the escape carrier. So it's a big world. They're randomly scattered around. They're not even in a grid pattern like they used to be. So trying to find the boss fights in that, like especially the eel, because it's so hard to see the eel even when you know where it is, it would just be a matter of luck that you stumble across it, really. And I'm just not really ready to put in the 3, 4, 5 hours that it would take to do a random seed speed run. And there's also the fact the problem is with recording, it all takes disk space, and a 4 or 5 hour run takes a lot of disk space. So, and I don't actually have that much. I've been doing so many speed runs that I don't really have much disk space anymore. I don't want to start deleting stuff. So I got my first fuel can there. That was nice. And I got some leather, all things I'm going to need. Going through this speed run, I ran into a few problems with kind of, again, because I've been doing so many glitchless speed runs, which are over in a day or two, or 2 to 3 days max, you don't need to collect as many things. You don't need to have a shelter every night, because you're only there. In my latest glitch speed run, I was only in the game 2 days, so I only slept one night. And here I'm going to have to sleep at least twice, if not 3 times. So remembering to have the resources to build a shelter was a bit something that I caught myself forgetting. I did remember that before it was too late, but I had to go, oh gosh, I need a shelter. All right, so I have 1 fuel can. I've got 1 piece of leather, 2 pieces of leather, a couple of lanterns, I got lashings. Anything I don't need, I'm gonna just dump over here. And here I'm just, again, out of habit, dumping the hammers, but I am actually gonna need one of the hammers. I'll get back to it later and pick one up. So here I'm basically just emptying the crates of loot, and then I'll have a bunch of empty crates that I can start with to reorganize my stuff that I need. This is my fuel container or crate. Got my 3rd piece of leather, which is exactly what I need for a refined axe and a pickaxe. So that's perfect. Okay, so I only have the 1 fuel can, so I need 2 more. So it's back out into the water. And again, this is just so slow compared to what I'm used to. Got a tiger shark swimming around. Now again, at this point, I wasn't really thinking that, oh yeah, right, I have to build a raft. I actually forgot about that. So I left a lot of cloth in those crates, which I probably should have taken some of it, because you do need cloth for a sail, for a rudder, and probably for a couple of extra bandages, because you're more likely to get bit by one of the bosses when you're not using the speed glitch. So yeah, I didn't really think this out that well in the beginning. Another jerry can. Okay, labeling my crates. N for nuts or coconuts, S for spears. I need 2 of those. This is my fuel. This is rations. It's my fuel number 2, the extra things I need for the fuel containers, and then an extra crate for spears. And I use that kind of for miscellaneous stuff until I actually have built enough spears to put in there. So I'm going to take some crates with me to the center of the island here. I need to gather some of the resources from the center of the island and along the beach. I've taken basically 2 crates for spears, 1 for coconuts, and 1 for my extra fuel stuff, which would mean clay, rocks, and then kind of whatever else I can fit in there. I also need at least 5 stone tools, 2 for a stone axe, 1 for a refined axe, and then 2 for a pickaxe. Here's my refined axe. Basically here I'm crafting crude spears to increase my crafting levels. I need to get those fully leveled up in order to build my fuel stills and create the fuel that I'll need to escape. And I'm leveled up enough now to make a pickaxe, so I'm going to have to find another rock out here somewhere. There we go. So second stone tool. And a pickaxe. Can now collect my clay. Now, of course, you need 4 pieces of clay, 2 for each of the fuel stills, and I like to build 2 fuel stills to get my potatoes all cooked at once. 2 batches of potatoes so that I have 2 jerry cans full of fuel. And again, it's 2 jerry cans full of fuel that you need in order to escape. Now, of course, if you're doing regular gameplay, you would collect that entire node of clay and probably a couple of others so that you can make a furnace and some clay water bottles, which are great for carrying water. In a speed run, you just don't have the time to do that, and you don't really need to do that. Even just with the 3 rations that I got in my starter raft at the beginning of the game. Those will probably last me the entire game, or I may actually use up all 3 of them by the time I'm into the boss fights and stuff. But I've already got a couple of extra ones from wrecks and stuff already, so food and water are not an issue when you're only playing for 3 or 4 days. I'm going to grab a few coconuts here. I need 10 of them for water, and I'll need another 4 probably for extra food. Just in case I don't have enough rations. So yeah, again, you need 10 food items and 10 water items. The water items, you make coconut flasks out of the coconuts, which is basically a coconut and a lashing. And lashings, of course, are made with 4 fibrous leaves. So you have to collect a lot of fibrous leaves, or you have to find them in shipwrecks, which I did find a few, but not too many. I got like 1 in the crate and 4 that I've just crafted on this island. So I'm halfway to my 10 that I'll need for my coconut flasks. But then again, I have to use 1 of them right here now to make a shelter to sleep the night, so this is again something that I kind of forgot. Oh right, I have to build a shelter on my start island. Oh right, I need to build a shelter on the next island. It's, yeah. So this crate is now completely full of spears. And sleeping for the first night. Not bad. First day went all right. I got most of my fuel cans. I got all my planks. I got rations. I got leather. I got my clay already. So I still need 1 jerry can, or a fuel can, whatever you want to call it. And because it's still dark, I've slept the night, it's still dark, I'm going to just go around and collect the last fibrous leaves that are hanging out here, because I need to build myself a raft, which I forgot to do. I forgot that I had to do that. I forgot that was a thing in a, in a non-glitch speedrun. So yeah, so literally my entire first day, I completely forgot that I had to build a raft. As you can tell, I didn't really go into this planning to do this or having it all planned out. I just kind of did this on a whim based on a couple of comments on my YouTube videos. And it's like, oh, fine, I'll try it and see what I get. So I would recommend you go into it a little more prepared than I was here. And here it's where I realized that I actually need a hammer as well. Well, I don't even know if I realized that yet. No, maybe not. I'm going for the buoy balls on the tanker. Now, in the early speed runs that I used to do, before I even figured out how to do this speed glitch, I used to build a raft, but I used to build like a 3x2 raft, basically. I'd have like 4 or 5 raft sections, so I would collect like 4 or 5 sets of buoy balls, like 4 on a tanker wreck if I could, and then find some more on another wreck if I could. Or if I couldn't find the buoy balls, then I would just use sticks to make wooden raft bases. and then I'd put container shells on them, and yeah, I spent way too much time on those things. So even when I was using the speed glitch, the raft glitch actually, sorry, not the speed glitch, where you can use a physics object to push a raft that you make. Even when I was doing that in the beginning, my speed runs were up around 3 hours, and I kept getting them lower and lower with help from Speedy Deep. He would give me tips on stuff I was doing, that I was wasting my time on stuff. And I'm going to be doing a video on the progression of how speed runs have changed in Stranded Deep over the last 3 or 4 months. Because like I say, it has literally gone from greater than 3 hours for a speed run down to 32 minutes was my last speed run with the glitch fixed seed or set seed speed run. Absolutely crazy that it's come that far. And here I am using basically the knowledge that I've gained from improving my glitch speedruns, trying to use that here in a glitchless speedrun. And of course there's a few things that just don't translate between the two. And my timing here is completely messed up because I'm used to having completed so much more than this already at this point. And when you have too much time to think about things, it can actually slow you down. It's one thing about the glitch speedruns is that you have to be so focused, and you have a kind of an order that you're doing things again and again and again until you get it right, and it just kind of almost comes automatically. And here I have to kind of start thinking about stuff because it's going so slowly, or it's going much slower. I can't run as fast, I can't do things as quickly, so it's actually slowing me down because I have to think too much, which is kind of weird. Alright, so I'm heading off to island number 2. So far I have 2 potatoes, 2 fuel cans, 4 planks. I have the 4 lashings that I need for the fuel stills. I have all the spears that I need, so I'm pretty well leveled up in my crafting. I may need to craft a couple of more things to get completely leveled up. I've got a bunch of coconuts with some lashings. I can't remember how many I had there. Maybe about half of what I need total. I'm heading to another small island, which should be pretty quick and easy to completely get the rest of the coconuts and lashings that I need. This next island has 3 potatoes on it, so I'll be grabbing those. And one thing I haven't done yet, I don't think, is kill anything. So my hunting skill is not leveled up at all yet, I don't think. Did I kill a crab? I don't know if I did. If I did, it was a small crab and it wouldn't have really meant an awful lot. So ideally, if you have time while you're running around the island gathering up the sticks and rocks and things, if you can whack any crabs that are there, the small ones, that'll help you to level up. You could also take a fishing spear out into the ocean, and in the shallower waters where it's safe, you could swim around and quickly grab probably a dozen sardines or more. That'll also help level you up. Bats and seagulls are not really relevant in a speed run. They're too difficult to kill. You have to do a bit more planning, or yeah, keep your eye out for them, I guess. I don't know. I guess you could, but I don't know. I don't think it would be that practical. There's a crab kill. Now generally what I do with the yucca plants is that I will try and collect 2 fibrous leaves from one of the young palms on the beach, so that I have 2 of them in my inventory, so that when I get to the yucca plant I can craft 2 lashings, because each yucca plant has 6 fibrous leaves on it, but they often fall down into a bush. They're really hard to get and stuff. So if you have 2 of them on you, that makes a total of 8, and you can craft 2 lashings just by looking at the bush and crafting while you're looking at the bush. And leveled up my hunting. Trying to build an anchor. I don't like risking taking a one-piece raft like this out to the boss fights, simply because it'll drift away if you don't place it exactly correctly on the buoy ball or on the dead whale or on the shipwreck with the eel. Then you could lose your raft, and that would be a disaster in a glitchless speedrun, so I don't want to risk that happening, so I'm going to build an anchor. Probably use a bit too many resources to do that, and I know there are ways that you can secure the rafts without using an anchor, but like I say, this is the first time I'm doing a glitchless speedrun, so I haven't practiced, I haven't planned out any new strategies or anything, so yeah, I decided just to go ahead and build the anchor. And here I realized I need a hammer. I did take one with me, so that was good. Potatoes go in there. Grab my hammer. And I'm not sure how I'm going to put this on here. There's no rocks here to prop this up on. So just try and place it on the slope and hope that that will work. And it does not. Now, it's been quite a while since I actually built a raft, so again, with a bit of planning, this would have gone a little bit quicker. I thought for sure this would work, and apparently no. There's something in the way. So it's registering the crates as being in the way for some reason. I don't know why. So I have to drag it out into the ocean. And attach the anchor while I'm out here. Except that my sail is up, which almost cost me the raft there. He almost sailed away without me. Whenever you have sticks in your inventory, it's difficult to craft things that don't require sticks, because the quick craft menu will always come up with items that have sticks in them first. So I had to get rid of the sticks so that I could craft my coconuts there. And I do have 4 pieces of leather, so I decided to make a stack of refined spears. For those of you that don't know, refined spears do twice the damage of a regular spear, so they are great to have if you have the resources to build them. When I do normal gameplay, I always craft, like almost exclusively, refined spears. I just don't use the regular ones if I have refined spears. I'll often have like a crate full of refined spears, and that's all the weapons you're ever going to need, really. Except maybe at one of the boss fights. So because I'm short one fuel can, I'm off to check a wreck to see if I can find a fuel can. Often on this seed, I would get all 3 fuel cans at the tanker on the first island, but obviously it doesn't always happen, and you do have to occasionally check other wrecks for the extra fuel can. And there we go. Decide I'm not going to bother with the extra leather. 4 refined spears is enough. I'm not planning on visiting any other shipwrecks now because I have what I need, so being a speed run, it's a waste of time to check wrecks if you don't need to, so I don't really need to. Except for this one, which is like right next to me. I'm just going to go check it out. And I do get an air tank and an extra lashing, so that's pretty good. And a ration. Okay, so I got everything I need there. Lots of spears. I've got a number of coconuts. Got a few extra sticks, which I can use for making my shelter and my fuel stills. Trying to figure out what direction I need to go. I believe it's north from here. Which should be that island right over there. Middle of the afternoon. And again with the long, boring sailing trip from island to island. This is the part of it that I find to be the biggest difference between the glitch allowed speedrun and the glitchless speedrun. Regardless of whether you're using the raft glitch, which is a physics glitch, or the speed glitch, which is a player control glitch, this is just so slow, having to sail at regular speed. Absolutely painful to sit here and go doo-dee-doo-dee-doo. The only good thing about this is that you have time to go make a cup of coffee or go to the bathroom or something like that while you're sailing between islands. As long as your raft doesn't get knocked off course, you're fine. But being a little raft like this, it does get knocked off course just by going up and down over the waves like that. So yeah, you do have to keep an eye on it and make sure that you don't get knocked off course and go to the wrong island. We've got a shark paying us a visit. Just enjoy the music. I actually like this song. This is kind of cool. Doesn't sound particularly South Pacific like. It sounds more Middle Eastern. Hello, giant crab. Say hello to my little friend. Take a few weapons with me. Have to collect some potatoes. Maybe a couple of lashings if I can find them. Loose sticks. Grab any loose sticks I see. Snake somewhere in there. We'll just go around. That's fine. I'm not sure where that snake was. He was somewhere in there. Now the boar is off to the left there somewhere, the giant boar, so I try not to go too far that way, because otherwise it triggers him and he'll come running after you. I think another thing with this being so slow is that, I don't know, it kind of lulls your brain into a sense of complacency. I'm sitting there going, how many lashings do I need? I have no clue. I think normally when I'm doing one of the glitch speed runs, everything happens so quickly that you really have to be on the ball and know exactly how many lashings you have at all times. So here I caught myself kind of drifting a bunch of times where I wasn't really paying attention. And just the nature of the beast, I guess. I didn't need to kill him. I was just swinging at him because he was there. And it looks like we're going to have to spend the night here, so I've collected what I need for a shelter. We have our 8 potatoes. And I decided that, well, I might as well build my fuel stills right here. I hadn't even really thought about it up until this point as to where I was going to build them. I am fully leveled up. I do need some more sticks though. That's enough for one of them. And of course, I'm short one stick to make kindling. There we go. Sleep for the night. See what time I wake up this time. Not really sure why I decided to craft those right then and there, because I didn't really need them. I chop these apart mainly just to get the lashing back, which I can use towards my coconut flasks. Just checking to make sure they were both full, which they are. There's my 10 coconut flasks. I have 3 coconuts, so I can use one more coconut at some point. Don't really need the pickaxe anymore. Trying to arrange it into as few crates as possible here. And I'm doing this because I have time. I'm on my way to a boss fight after this, and it's still dark, so I'm going to have to wait for the sun to come up anyways. So just organizing my crates. Decide that I have one extra lashing, so I'm going to make a breath boost. And again, being careful not to go too far to the left there, because that's where the boar is. So after this, I still have 6 rations, so that's good. Checking if there was anything good there, which there was not, so that should be it. I'm on my way to the next island. Ah, okay, never mind. I decide to put some things into a crate and then go to the next island. hear a shark swimming there. And from here it's a nice leisurely sail to the first boss, which is the eel. It's to the left of that island ahead of us. $310 on the compass, or no, 325 degrees on the compass, I believe it is. Checking my bearing, going about 320 at the moment, 315, 310, go slightly to the right. One nice thing about sailing in the raft, you have a higher perspective on things because you're standing on the deck of the raft. When you're swimming, you're right down at water level, so seeing the bosses on the horizon can be a little bit difficult, especially if there are waves. Like here it's fairly flat, but yeah. Should be able to see the eel at some point soon. Now, as I mentioned, the eel is the hardest boss to find. So imagine you're on a random seed, you don't know where the boss fight is, you're just sailing like this, and you have to spot these two little antennas sticking out of the water. Not an easy task. So you have to sail pretty much right past it in order to see it. You can see it just in front of my raft behind the mast. You'll see it poke out once in a while. It would be so hard to find if you had no idea where it was. At least with the older versions of the game where it was a 5x5 grid, you could just look on the horizon from an island and say, oh, there's a boss fight right over there because there's no island. You could see exactly where all the islands were. They were laid out in this perfect grid. And if you couldn't see an island where there should be one, then it was obviously a boss fight. Simple. Unfortunately, that doesn't apply to the newer version of the game. Everything is randomly placed. They're no longer in a nice, neat pattern. And yeah, you would have to be really lucky to find it. Okay, so I take a breath boost. This allows me to hold my breath a lot longer, stay underwater longer. And I even take an air tank with me, so this should be fun. Baited him there. As soon as you come up out of the water, he'll leap at you. If you time it right though, you can just dodge him. what happened there. My raft flipped over, and then the eel grabbed me. What black magic is that? Killed him with my refined spear. Now this is a fairly new thing. I haven't played the game normally for quite a while, so having these spears fall down onto the deck like that after he dies, I didn't even know that happened until like 2 days ago before I played this. So those two for some reason I can't pick up. But that's great. I love that they've added that to the game, that you can actually get your spears back after you kill the boss. Before you had to do a mad dash trying to pluck everything out of his dead body before he disappeared, but now they fall down to the deck if you happen to kill him over a deck. So of course you want to plan to do that. Don't want to kill him over the open ocean, because then the spears will just plummet down to the bottom of the ocean and you can't get them. So how that works with the shark or the eel, or the shark or the squid, I don't know. I don't think you can get the spears back from them unless you pluck them out of the boss's cold body. Okay, here the raft just wouldn't move in the slightest. I'm trying to drag it and nothing's happening, so I have to release the anchor. Make sure I'm going to the right island. So basically from here I'm going to the aircraft carrier, but there is no cloth on the aircraft carrier and I just used my only bandage. I didn't have the foresight to build extra bandages, even though there was cloth all over the place in the beginning of the game. I could have easily taken an extra cloth or two with me. And that would have saved me a bit of time here from having to stop at this island to make a new bandage or two. Now, ideally, I would have got to the aircraft carrier before sunset, but because I have to make a pit stop at this island here, I think it's going to be pushing my luck a little. I decided to stop here and just quickly check this wreck to see if I can find some cloth. It'll save me from stopping at the island. Get a ration at least. but no cloth. Now I don't know where the cloth is, so I'm just gonna go around on the beach here until I find it. And I will need to craft a lashing as well, or two. Decide to grab that fruit because it's right there. Might as well grab a couple of extra spears while I'm at it. No luck there. Take a couple of extra air cans. What the heck? I probably should have been killing all these crabs, but I realized that after I've already passed two of them, so I take out the third one. And so far, no cloth. And then I remember, I believe it's out on this point over here with the two shipwrecks. And I accidentally used up my sprint speed, which really slows me down. Giant boars coming for me. This is why I hate large islands in a speed run, because they always slow you down with a stupid boar chases you. Or some snake prevents you from going to a certain area. Never fails. Decided to eat that potato. Didn't need it for fuel, so what the heck. Grab a couple of extra coconuts. Just to level up my hunting here, maybe. Oh, I actually remember here that yeah, I need to sleep the night on the aircraft carrier, so I will need to build a shelter, which means I need palm fronds to do that. So, good thing I remembered that last minute. Otherwise, I would have got all the way to the carrier. I'd have no way of sleeping for the night. That would have been stupid. So that means I need another lashing too, because I need that for the shelter. So now I have to find a couple of more young saplings. There we go. Eat that to free up an inventory slot. This is kind of a beautiful game. I love just sailing around, like sunrise, sunset. It's so pretty, so relaxing. Just sit back and relax. A little bit of music in the background. And everything's just peaceful and calm. Until a shark shows up. And then the menacing bubbling starts and the music starts. It's like, oh no, there's a shark. Please don't flip me over. Please don't flip me over. Hey! He flipped me over. Apparently when you flip over, your sail automatically stops sailing. I didn't know that. So we're on our way again. Sharks don't scare me. Oh. And he flips us over again. If you fall down, just get right back up again. So we still have 2 bosses to kill, and I'm going to set up my shelter on the carrier island here, sleep the night, leave my food, water, and fuel here, and then head off to kill the final 2 bosses in the morning, come back to here, grab my food, water, and fuel, and escape. Just making sure I have all the food and water that I'll need. Take a couple of full air tanks, making sure they were full. A couple of rations, got a couple of bandages. Don't need the lanterns. Leaving everything else here. And I decided to chop up the driftwood for a few extra spears. And that again is because I have to take on the Megalodon and the Squid. And this is glitchless, so there's a good chance that I'll have to throw a lot of spears at both of them. And I'll not likely to get them back, or at least not all of them. Chop down the shelter just to be on the safe side, get a couple of extra, or at least one extra stick. And it also leaves an extra lashing there just in case I need it later. We need to go at 70 degrees, which is about right. Now, I was thinking if I had to do a random seed glitch permitted speed run, which would be kind of a compromise between, you know, the purest glitchless random seed and glitch allowed fixed seed. So random seed but glitches allowed. That would probably be an interesting one to try because you could use the raft glitch which would be a lot more reliable to get around the entire world looking for things that you didn't know where they were. It would be a lot easier to do it with a raft using the physics glitch than relying on either this, sailing in a raft very slowly. That would drive me absolutely bonkers if I had to sail around the entire world trying to find the bosses. And I believe it would be even quicker to use the raft glitch than to use the swimming glitch. Because your character has stamina, he would tire out. Plus, being so low to the water when you're swimming, you can't see very well along the horizon. So you can't see the bosses that well. You would see them much better if you were in a raft. So that might be something I try. I would certainly try that before doing random seed glitchless. That's kind of the last one that I'm going to ever do. Just because it would be so hard. And would take so long. And like I say, with my hard drive, I don't even know if I have enough hard disk space to do that. I mean, I may not be able to film it because I would run out of disk space. I think I missed both of those. Bad shots. If you haven't already seen them, check out my challenge videos where I, for example, killed the Megalodon with a single crude spear. And I actually killed the eel with a stone tool. That's absolutely insane. And that's without any glitches or anything. So if you haven't seen it, trust me, check it out. It's well worth the time. In my challenge series, I also do weird stuff like swimming under an island. You ever seen that? If not, check my channel. I have that as well. I do things like taking on sharks with just a knife, transporting a shark on a little raft like this one. What else did I do? Can't remember. Lots of fun stuff, though. Okay, Squid is our last boss fight. This is always the one that I dislike the most. And it's especially difficult, in my opinion at least, when you're not allowed to use the glitch that the squid gets into. When you dive down the buoy ball chain, he just glitches in a circle above you, and he's pretty easy to pick off. You just have to have enough air and enough weapons, of course. You may have to go, well, you will have to go back up to the surface, collect more weapons, and dive down again and do the same thing over again. But doing that twice should be enough to kill him. But you can't do that in a glitchless speedrun. So I'm going to be killing him from the surface for the most part. From both my raft and from the buoy ball. We have a marlin swimming next to us. First time I fought the giant squid, it was the first time I'd ever fought him, and I was using my regular raft from my Let's Play series. It had a hole in the middle, and I kept falling through the hole in the middle of the raft. That was just absolutely hilarious and ridiculous at the same time. I don't know how I survived that fight. I should have died a couple of times, but I managed to barely squeak it through and managed to win, killing the boss. And immediately afterwards fixed the hole in my raft because that was just stupid. This is a hectic way to kill the squid, but hey, I got it done. I'm going to throw a ration at him. I think my motions here were so erratic that the stupid squid couldn't figure out how to get me. And it wasn't by design. I was just falling off of the raft, and this was not a pretty boss fight. This is at best probably half skill and half luck. Trying to zigzag. I know it's harder for him to get you if you zigzag while you're swimming. Just managed to dodge him there. And he's dead. Low on health, but survived. Left the compass behind, but it doesn't matter. The ship is right there. I can see it. I don't need the compass anymore. Might be useful on the airplane when I escape, but you know, maybe it has a built-in compass. Maybe, I don't know. A potentially fatal error as he leaves behind his compass on the buoy ball. And I've never done this before, but I figured, well, you know, it's a long journey back to this ship. Well, it's not very long, it just takes a long time. So I decided I might as well craft my airplane parts. It'll save me a few seconds when I get there. Yeah, so in my original or my first few speedrun attempts, I was using the raft glitch where you can use a physics item to push the raft through the water quite rapidly, which was way faster than this, but I started off over 3 hours, and the reasoning it was so slow was because I was crafting like literally everything in the crafting menu. Like I built fuel stills, I built, what do you call them? Smokers to cook food, I built a tanning rack so that I could make leather, so that I could craft more spears. I made sure I had several breath boosts, I had several antidotes. I just basically crafted everything I could. I crafted a furnace. I collected a lot more clay, so I had water bottles. I didn't realize then that you could use coconuts for water, or the coconut flasks for water. So I was crafting a water still or two and distilling water. So yeah, you can imagine why it took so long. And the art of speedrunning is to figure out what you can get away with, what you absolutely must do, and what you can avoid doing, what you don't need to do, and get it down to the bare minimum so that you can finish the game as quickly as possible. Now, this is not how most people would actually play the game, but it is the quickest way of finishing the game by not building any smokers or water stills or anything like that. But in real survival game, you would of course do that because your goal is not to escape as quickly as possible. It's pretty much to settle yourself onto an island, have everything you need, including food and water, being produced with farms and all that stuff, build a shelter, and then eventually, once you kind of get bored of it a little bit, then maybe you'll think about escaping. And I don't know who in their right mind would rely on a 1945 aircraft that's been sitting here rusting for 60 years or whatever it is. $75 years, I guess it would be. Good Lord. There's no way I'd be relying on that thing. Got too much stuff on me. Even though I've plucked a few extra airplane parts from the jaws of 3 freakishly weird bosses, they're not rusty or anything, so, you know, they should work perfectly fine. And I know how to fly a plane, right? I mean, everybody knows how to fly a plane. There are a lot of assumptions in this game. Let's just put it that way. I don't know. I'd like to think that I probably could fly a plane if I had to. I have played flight simulators before, so I'm sure I would make one fatal mistake or something and that would be it, but, you know. I think the hardest part would be landing. Oh yeah, and here we're not only relying on a 75-year-old airplane, we're relying on a 75-year-old catapult to launch us down the deck so that we have enough speed to actually not plummet into the ocean. Yeah. And we have to take off pretty quickly because there's a big obstruction in the middle of the stupid runway as well. Three hours later. There we go. Done. Glitchless. Fixed seed or set seed. Speed run. Not perfect by any means. That was my first try at it. It certainly could use a little bit of optimizing, figuring out how much you can accomplish in each day and being in the right place to maximize what you can get done and be as efficient as possible. 1 hour and 26 minutes on the in-game clock, so it's always a little behind. So yeah, not bad. I'm not upset about the time or anything. I thought it was pretty good. I know Speedy Deep just did one in 1 hour and 20 minutes and some odd seconds on his channel. So check that one out if you enjoy this type of speed run. And yeah, I know Speedy has some other ones planned, including a random seed glitchless. I think glitchless? Is he doing glitchless? I think. Maybe. Anyways, he has one planned. Check out his channel. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Leave a like, leave a comment down below. We'll catch you again in the next one. Bye for now.